What is going on, guys? Jack here, and welcome back to episode 21 of The Race here in Kingston Sprint. And today, I've got for you guys a live com doubleheader. The first game we have today, it's going to be Seattle v Kingston Sprint in the North American Champions League semi-final first leg. And following on from that, 3 days later, we're going to be taking on the Chicago Fire in the MLS. So, since the last episode, we've actually only played the one game. It was a game where, if I'm completely honest, I kind of just rotated the entire side knowing that we had the North American Champions League to be involved in. So you can see we actually drew 1-1 against Colorado. When you look at our team, you'll notice it was pretty much entirely rotated. You can see the likes of Al Clark and Espinoza alongside him starting at centre-backs. And then even higher up the pitch, we had players like Drew Goldsmith play, a player who was drafted in this year. Another player who actually got his first ever goal for the club, Peter Raymond, did very well. The 18-year-old has actually been called up for the England under-19 squad, so that's some good news for him. And I really like the look of this guy as a left winger. He does have Jamaican secondary nationality, and hopefully he can turn into a good little player for us. And well, speaking of players with perhaps some potential coming forward, I'm currently in the process of signing this guy from Harbour View. His name is Anthony West, and he looks really good for a 16-year-old. Very good in the air, good jumping reach, very good heading. His pace and physicals as a whole aren't too shabby at all. And yeah, at 16, he looks like he could be a very good little player going forward. So, hoping to get this deal done, and it would be basically a free transfer if he does come in, because he is only on a youth contract. So, keep your eyes open on this guy. He was a player who, I'm trying to think how I found him. I think I was looking just through the Jamaican sides, and he was considered their hot prospect. He may have been in the under-19 squad. I don't think he was. I think I was just having a look through. I'd kind of like to keep up to date on who the best young players are. You can see here we've got guys like this guy, Nolan, who looks like a pretty good centre-back, although he is a few years older. And obviously I do want to kind of keep tabs on what the best kind of young domestic players within Jamaica are looking like, and he was just a player who came up. But yeah, I guess really we need to focus on today's game. It's going to be the North American Champions League. I rotated my entire side in the last game, as you saw, which means that going into today's game, for the most part, we're fairly fit. The only area where I kind of screwed up was I played Yasser Kasim in the game, forgetting that, of course, Jermaine Anderson was sent off in our last match. As a result, he's suspended for the first leg today, so he's not available for selection. But with the exception of him, it's pretty much a full-strength side with everyone back at full fitness, which is good and, well, it's great to see, to be honest, because we have been battling with a number of injuries, so far this season. Andre Blake, of course, starting in goal, 28 years old, been one of our star players for a number of years. Out on the left, we have Kamar Lawrence playing left-back. Out on the right, we have Jordan Clark, of course, a player who joined us from Scunthorpe this year. Probably more of a centre-back than a full-back, really. He's very good in the air, 14 jumping reach isn't something you'd really nail down on a right-back necessarily at our level. But you can see he's a very well-rounded player, perhaps not the greatest defensively, but well, one of the big reasons we signed him was because of how well he has performed for Scunthorpe for a number of years, including getting a 7.25 average rating as a defender in a side that got relegated, which is really, really impressive. Anyway, centre-backs we, of course, go with Fabian McCarthy and Ikapara. Looking slightly ahead, we have Yasser Kazim alongside him. We have Kevin Hunt, who actually today is going to be playing as a ball-winning midfielder on support. I'm still, kind of tinkering with the system, trying to find something I like. This role was previously a box-to-box midfielder, but I think for Kevin Hunt, he's not the greatest player going forward, and with his exceptional tackling, bravery, determination and stamina, he's really got the legs to play this ball-winning midfielder role, so we'll see how he gets on there. Out on the left, we of course have Danny Johnson playing as an attacking kind of advanced playmaker out wide. On the right-hand side, we have Sadio Mane ready and raring to go. He's match fit, which is great to see the 26-year-old going to be wanting him really to link up with Batshuayi, who of course got Chelsea's Premier League winning goal, and well, hopefully he can get some winning goals. He's had great form so far this season. You can see 3 matches he's been involved in, 4 goals in those matches, including 3 across the 2 legs of the North American Champions League semi-final, and alongside him we go with Andre Clennon up top. The rest of our bench, O'Neill Fisher, Al Clark, Ricardo Morris, Chris Jackson, who of course is a player we picked up in the draft as one of our first round picks, a player who I think has a fairly decent future ahead of him if he can, well, as you can see there, stop deteriorating as a player and start to kind of try and fulfill his potential. In terms of attacking options, Peter Raymond can play out on the left. Out on the right, we of course have Alan Ottey still, and well, as one of our big striking options, Caelan Hines, who of course is on loan from Sheffield Wednesday as part of a 2-year loan deal that we signed him on. But anyway, let's see how we get on in this first game. Worth noting that regardless of the result today, I'm probably going to have to rotate my side going into the second game against the Chicago Fire. Also worth being aware of the fact that really It's a little bit interesting, this, because we play the Sounders here, and then we actually have a break of, it's almost a month, I think, until the second leg. So we want to kind of put ourselves on a good footing, I guess, in this first leg. Of course, we are away from home, so away goals are going to be important for us. And really, Mane, number 13, I'm looking for him to have a good game, and, well, already causing them some problems, perhaps, although Vorm is going to collect the ball there for Seattle. And, well, this is a big game for us. It's a first ever North American Champions League semi-final in the club history. We've done well to reach this far, and I think we've got fairly fortunate in the sense that we have Seattle in this semi-final rather than one of the Mexican giants. So we've got to try and make the most of this situation that we find ourselves in. Of course, we had a really good performance in the quarterfinals, and I'm now looking at the likes of Mane and Michi, who we brought in to really have an impact, although we do need to defend here. And we're not going to defend here. Seattle, a goal within the first 2 minutes. That is not what I want to see. And already, there's part of me that's panicking, thinking, do I just drop both wingers deeper? Part of me feels like it might be a wise move. Oh, I don't know. Do I want to change things this soon? It might be too soon. I think it's too soon. But then if I don't make the changes now and they score a second in the first 10 minutes, then I'm going to look back on this moment as the moment that I screwed up and should have been more reactionary. I'm not going to make the changes yet. We'll see how the first 10 minutes go. In terms of possession, Seattle are kind of bossing it. I guess my concern really is that Seattle are playing a very narrow system. They're playing the 4-3-1-2, and I feel like we're going to be losing that battle in the midfield. The question is, how do I want to try and win that battle? Do I want to just switch back to our old 4-3? I mean, part of me thinks just match them like for like. I think that might be the best bet. Kamal Lawrence on a booking as well as an ideal. I'm going to do this. It's a little bit frustrating, I guess, just to ditch the new system for the year. But we are in a fortunate kind of position where our team does quite easily mould into our kind of perhaps more familiar 4-3-1-2. And I feel like with the way Seattle are playing with their narrower team, kind of matching them like for like is going to be fairly important here. So we'll see how we get on. They are still bossing the ball, although we do have possession here, but we're dispossessed. It's a 2-on-2 as well at the back. That's a little bit concerning as now Morris is going through. Can we get a tackle? And we can't. It's threaded through, and Mansoray scores again for Seattle. They have been the better team thus far in this match. Do I want to change to like a 4-3-3? I think I do. I feel like this kind of system might just benefit us a little bit in terms of trying to stretch their free centre-backs and cause them some problems there. I do think we're going to have to play fairly kind of direct, you know, exploiting the middle. I don't really want us to look for the overlap quite so much. We're going to sit slightly deeper as well. Part of me feels like maybe we should play on the counter-attack, but I don't think I want to do that in this game. You can see Yasser Kazim is booked and struggling for condition. We're probably going to have to take him off at half-time, which, again, could be a little bit of a problem. But we'll have to see how we get on. Maybe we can get a goal back immediately here. Clark whips it to the back post. Clennon down to Yasser Kazim, the player I mentioned I might need to take off. He passes it forward to Michi, who tries to lay it out wide and gives away the ball once more. And they're on the attack again. Do I want to play Yasser Kazim deeper as a deep line playmaker on defensive midfielder? I mean, it might be too late at this point. Apara, though, fantastic interception by him. Can our free forwards now try and make something happen? Kevin Hunt does well to win it. Kazim can't afford to give the ball away there, and he doesn't. And now we're trying to work it forward once more. It maybe makes its way to Michi, although the defenders had a mare. He lays off to Andre Clennon, who skies it. And it was such a great opportunity. You feel like if it's Michi getting the ball there, it's a certain goal. But Andre Clennon, he panicked. He saw his name up in lights. He saw the goal. He saw the opportunity. But he just didn't have the bottle. I'm going to tell the players to show me something else in the second half. I'm going to drop, I think, Yasser Kazim deeper. I mean, the issue I've got here is that Kevin Hunt's really the only option to play deep line playmaker, so I guess we'll have to do that. I'm then also going to bring in Ricardo Morris, the Jamaican player, a very good, kind of well-rounded player, and we're actually going to play him as an advanced playmaker on support. And I think I'm going to change Kevin Hunt's role to ball-winning midfielder on defend. Yeah, this is the system we're going to go with. I might need the fullbacks just to provide a little bit more support. But, yeah, I want to go with kind of a trio up top. I want to be fairly direct to them. I want them to be the players pulling the strings. You know, the likes of Michi and Mane. They need to have big games in these kind of games. And, well, it's Mane cutting inside. Can he find the goal? He can't. Vorm saves it. But it's a good sign of intent, a good start to the second half at least. And you can kind of see how our free strikers, they're going to be sat on 2 centre-backs, and that can definitely cause them some problems, as now Clennon is coming forward with it. There's options back inside. Can he find the ball? He can't. He's dispossessed. But we do have plenty of men back now, and you can see we do have Hunt just kind of protecting the back four a little bit better. And while Mane now with the ball, can he whip it in? He has a good cross in him. Cleared away as far as Kamar Lawrence. Can he pull the trigger? He lays it to Ricardo Morris, the sub. Welcome to the game, Ricardo. What a finish that is. 2-1 here. It's his first goal of the season. It's one of his first appearances for the season. The Jamaican player, a player who's been at the club a number of years. You know, found himself a little bit out of first team contention over the last year or so. But he comes on off the bench and lashes that into the top corner. Pick that out. And you'd have to say, we've looked good at the start of this second half, and hopefully we can build off this now. Going to be Seattle bringing the ball forward. That is a crucial away goal for us as well. That's worth noting. Although Jones trying to bring the ball forward here. And, well, it's the Morris show. They have now scored immediately. Jordan Morris with his first goal of the season. The ball in was superb. Unfortunately for us, we didn't deal with it. You can see the ball kind of wide here. You think it's a relatively safe situation, but he's allowed to get the cross in. It bounces in the box. And, well, Andre Blake beating at his near post. Maybe slightly questionable. It was a difficult kind of chance for him to deal with. You can see, looking at the team, Mane and Michy really not been standout performers for us. Fabian McCarthy struggled as well. I'm going to take him off for Al Clark. And actually, I'm going to make our last sub now. I'm going to take off Andre Clennon. And I'm going to bring in Kalen Hines for him. So, those are the changes that I'm going to go with. A little bit risky. Kamar Lawrence on a booking has me concerned. But Fabian McCarthy not had a great game. I'm going to have to bring in the youngster Al Clark for him. Maybe Kalen Hines can make something magical for us happen. He's been a striker who has fantastic ability, but he's never really shown it during his kind of previous year on loan at the club. It is his second year of the loan spell. This is the kind of game where he could go down in Apex folklore if he can make something happen. But, well, there's 8 minutes left. It's 3-1. This wouldn't be the worst result in the world. I feel like we're still in contention, but in reality, a second away goal for us here could be crucial. But, well, there's a matter of minutes left. Seattle have really put their foot on the gas, and, well, they might have a chance here. 45 seconds left. It's headed clear. Can we get it away once more? Ball goes forward. Trying to apply pressure on their backline, trying to seize back possession, but it feels like it's just a little bit in vain here. In Seattle, they're knocking it around us. Let's make sure this ball doesn't get into the box once more like the previous goal did. Al Clark, nice clearance by him, up to Hines. We've got options up here. Could there be a late sting in the tail? Probably not. There's 10 seconds left. Get the ball forward, boys. That's the kind of ball I wanted to Mane. Nodded across. I thought it was going to fall to Michy. It didn't. And, well, here, it's going to finish 3-1. Not the worst result in the world by any means. I think, as far as our performance is concerned, it was underwhelming. I'm pretty far from pleased with what I just saw, boys. Michy, one of our key players, just simply put, didn't turn up. Mansouré, for them, man of the match. Not entirely surprising, but, well, we need to pick ourselves back up here, because our next game is in 3 days' time to the Chicago Fire, who, I don't know where they are in the league. They're 6th at the moment. They have played 3 games. They've won one, drawn one, lost one. You can see we're unbeaten at the moment. But, well, as you guys may remember last year, we drew a lot of games last year, and I'm a little bit concerned we're going to end up drawing a lot of games this year as well. So, of course, I'm hoping that's not going to be the case. But, well, we'll send our players on a rest. They've not got a lot of time to recover for this game, so that's a bit of a challenge for us to maybe try and deal with. Yasuo Kasumi is going to miss the semi-final due to picking up too many yellow cards. I mean, we had a few players on bookings like Kamar Lawrence. I'm kind of glad he wasn't one of the players who we're going to be missing, because I do feel like he is a very important player for us. Anyway, are we favourites for this game? I assume we are. Yeah, in fact, no, we're not actually. Chicago are favourites. I guess that's down to the fact we've not won a game this season yet. You can see we have a few players in contention to be the record league appearance maker. It's a little bit annoying, actually, because I believe Andre Clennon, Fisher, and then I don't know who will be the other player. Who would it be? Either way, the issue I have is basically that Clennon and O'Neill Fisher are both competing with one another for the same record of most league appearances, and so every game the press are bigging up one or the other, but obviously they're not catching up with one another because of the fact that they're both gaining appearances at kind of an equal rate. Anyway, Orlando beating New York, interesting result there. I've got this deal with Anthony West to deal with. The issue I'm going to have is when I sign Anthony here, I'm going to have to clear a player from our rosters. I already know which player it's going to be. I've been offered Alex Vidal from Barcelona. I mean, I need young designated players, unfortunately, so that's not one we can do. But yeah, as I said, we now need to register Anthony West, but to do that we have to unregister a player. Now I've already decided which player I'm going to be unregistering. The player I'm going to be unregistering is this guy, Craig Farley. He's a good player for us, but he's 23 years old, doesn't have a lot of room to improve in reality. You can see last year he only played 4 games with us. The year before that he was drafted and he got 2 goals in 11. Just not a player with really a future at the club. He's not really improved since we drafted him in, so he's going to go and be placed on the waivers and be waived, which basically means that any other team can pick him up. And in his place, we're going to have Anthony West in our team, who I really like the look of. So hopefully he can turn into a good little striker for us going forward. And, well, it's a good little coup of a deal, really, from Harbour View to bring him in. Anyway, in terms of our team, let's have a look. So this is what I consider to be our best starting 11. All the players are fit and able to play this game, so it's the team that we'll go with. The only change is really from the team that started that previous match. It's going to be the fact Jermaine Anderson's back in the side. So that's some good news there. Hopefully we can have a good performance. Obviously, the players rested up just about enough to be ready to play in this game. In terms of Chicago Fire, looking at their team, I'm going to be honest, there's not a load of players I recognise. I recognise Sean Johnson here, who's an American international goalkeeper. Elsewhere, there's not a ton of players who I could really kind of advocate and kind of recall and say, yes, that's going to be a good player. I guess Helder Costa's a name that some people will know. He obviously played for Wolves. He actually looked really good when he played for Wolves as well. In fact, did he play for Wolves in real life? Of course he did. He looked very good. He got a few informs in FIFA. That's how I know him. That's really sad, isn't it? Anyway, let's get into today's game. Let's see what we can do here. Hoping for a big performance from our players. We need to bounce back after that game against Seattle. And, well, furthermore, we need to start winning in MLS, because if we draw a third game on the bounce, or even worse, fail to win this game, I feel like there's going to be questions asked of us. Our job could be on the line. We could be at risk. But, well, we'll have to see how we get on here. I mean, you'd hope that the board would look at the North American Champions League and kind of think to themselves, well, we did okay there. Whether or not they'd actually think that, you know, the fact that we got to the semi-final of the North American Champions League, I guess, remains to be seen, really. But we'll see how we get on here. 15 minutes gone. Set piece in a dangerous area. Whipped in. Headed clear. Only as far as Kamal Lawrence. Can he put it back out to Johnson? He can. Can Danny Johnson now find a ball into the box? He instead lays it across the area to Kevin Hunt, who is in a battle of his own. Does he win the ball there? He almost did. Unfortunately, the ball lashed clear. But all the way back to Andre Blake, who, well, I was a little bit panicked there when he did that risky pass to the fullback, but it's come off, so I can't fault him. Hunt now to Johnson. Clennon. Can he pull the trigger now? He hits it, goes over the crossbar. I thought the keeper might have got a fingertip to it, but instead it was just way off target. I'm looking for Clennon, really, to have a better performance. Last game against Seattle, he missed that key, clear-cut chance to get us back into the game. And, well, we've got a long throw to deal with here. It's launched into the box by Williams. He might even get a second attempt at the cross, deflected really kindly to Romero Gamara, who finds the back of the net. There's so much fortune about that goal. The long throw was dealt with, and why was the highlight not shown? I mean, can someone explain why we didn't get a highlight of the goal? Unless this is now going to be a goal for us and this is a really rare bug that's in the game. I guess that might be what happens. Okay, well, there you go. I've never seen that happen in FM before, but the game refused to show me the replay of their goal because we went up the other end and scored immediately. And I guess now we're going to get to watch our goal. So Mane, I believe that's his first ever MLS goal. So round of applause to him. Going to give him some plaudits there. That was a lovely little finish, actually, and the ball worked around nicely, obviously, straight from kickoff as well. It's great to see an immediate reply, a good sign of character, you'd have to say, from our players. And, well, Danny Johnson lays it across. Mitchie plays it through, and Mane just finding some space here on the inside, slots it away. Wasn't right in the corner, really. Perhaps the keeper could have done a little bit better with that, but, well, we will take it. Kevin Hunt's picked up an injury, but he should be able to run it off, apparently. I hope he can. He's one of our key players. I don't think I mentioned it earlier on in a previous episode this year. PSG looked at him, and he got annoyed with me for not selling him to PSG. But some of you may remember he signed a new deal at the club recently, so he's got 5 years on his contract. And, well, we might need him for 5 years if at the rate we're going here. We've just conceded again. Chicago Fire now in the 24th minute. We've had 3 goals in the space of 5 minutes. What is happening? Absolute madness going on here. Helder Costa, the man with the goal. I feel like the keeper could have done a little bit better there. I mean, I flamed their goalkeeper for not doing his job. I feel like we can put our keeper under the microscope there. But we'll need to try and bounce back, and we're going to try and do so. Kamal Lawrence, can he find it into the box? He plays it to Kevin Hunt. Not the wisest ball there, really. And now with Romero Gamara bringing it forward. What a run this has been. I mean, what a goal. What a goal. I thought he was just going to sky it, because that's what happens in Football Manager with those goals, but he's just scored a worldie. I mean, I might just go and cry. He beats one man here. It's Maradona-esque. Beats another man for pace, and then just slots it in. I mean, the keeper should do better than that. Definitely should do better than that. And now they've got a set piece. What is happening? Deal with it, please. Mane, bring the ball forward to Andre Clennon. Maybe we can hit them on the counter. Maybe we can get a goal now. It would be a goal if there was a goal here. I mean, there you go. That's what I was expecting from their situation. I was going to say it would be a 5th goal in the space of 17 minutes. Unfortunately, Andre Clennon didn't get the script. Blasted it wide and... Well, we have a late chance here at the end of the first half. McCarthy, Apara, pull the trigger. Someone, Mane's shot blocked. And we can't find it into the box. That was a really good opportunity for us. You can see, looking at the stats thus far in this game, we've dominated possession. We've had more shots. We've had equal clear-cut chances. We've had more half chances. I feel like it's only a matter of time before we get into this game. I'm going to take on Andre Clennon. I'm going to bring in Alanotti for him. You can see here, Kevin Hunt's struggling quite a lot for fitness. So I'm going to take him off for Yasser Kasim as well at half-time. I'm actually going to change this ball-winning midfielder. I'm going to put him on centre mid on support. I don't feel like that's really worked for us. I feel like having both centre mids kind of fairly defensive in terms of having a deep ball-winning midfielder and a deep line playmaker just lacks any kind of verticality movement from the central midfielders to get forward. Obviously, we have Michy dropping into the space, but there's no one really pushing into that space from a deep position. And I think that might be hindering our creative possibilities in the final third. So we'll see how we get on here. Romero Gamara is going to be looking for a hat-trick. I'm a little bit concerned about that. He's been on fire today. And so is Elder Costa. And Romero Gamara, I mean, he's got his hat-trick. Fair play. Oh, dear. A little bit embarrassing. A little bit embarrassing. I feel like this is... I don't want to say this has been one of those games. But we've had more chances, more half chances. We've not taken them. And Chicago Fire, they've had some exquisite finishing by their talent in the final third. And, I mean, what can you say about it, really? We've just not defended very well. I think our defenders' average ratings perhaps imply it's been a pretty poor performance by the entirety of the back four. I can't really pin the blame on one player. You can see we're just all over the shop here. What is going on? Come on, Lawrence, don't get sent off now. That's all I ask. Let's just not get a red card now. McCarthy clears it. Up to Michy. Can we maybe make something happen now? Alanotti, the sub, trying to make something happen. Yasser Kasim, our other sub, latching onto it. Now with Jermaine Anderson, Danny Johnson. To McCarthy. Options on ahead. Into the centre. Michy's there. Gets cleared away. We could be caught out once more here. Chicago Fire, bring the ball forward. They've not even been a particularly good team this season. They're just kind of just ripping us to shreds here. Romero Gamara, he should have scored again. The easiest chance he's had all game and he missed it. But, well, we live to fight another day maybe. We need 3 goals in the space of 20 minutes. We've been dominating the game for spells. Unfortunately for us, Chicago Fire, since they've kind of got their noses ahead, they've really kind of played with a degree of confidence which we've not been able to match. And, well, Andre Blake, fair play to him. Lovely save there by him. It's just not working today, is it? I'm going to bring on Peter Raymond, the youngster, who obviously is going to be going out on international duty in the near future with England's under-19s. We'll give him a chance here to maybe try and make something happen. But in reality, there's just no time left in this match for anything to happen. 10 minutes left. We need 3 goals. I can't see it happening. It's not going to happen. Time just ticking away here. I feel like this is a game where if we took our chances when we had them, it ends very differently. Unfortunately for us, you'd have to say Chicago Fire were just exquisite in front of goal. They took their opportunities. They embarrassed us. And I feel like we've got to review this game and try and work out what went wrong really for us. Because, well, simply put, it just didn't work, did it? For whatever reason, going away from home, I don't know if it's a lack of confidence, the fact that we've not won in a few games. I don't know if it's a case of the system itself just isn't quite clicking. I kind of hinted at the start of the season, you know, I've tried this system before, the 4-2-4, the 4-2-2-2, whatever you want to call it. And I've not had success with it in FM for a few years. You can see here the headline is Men in Red Strike Lucky. It's kind of how I feel about the whole game, but I mean, we have to deal with it. Okay guys, so I think my recording cut off right at the end there, so I'll end things here. You saw the games, they were awful. I'm going to go cry about them. If you've got any feedback, any comments about the system, leave them down below. I'm really not happy with this tactical system. I need to change things up. I'm thinking a complete forward on attack. Maybe that's the way to go. Please do let me know what you think. The result is 7 in Seattle, not the worst. Hopefully I'll see you guys next time for that North American Champions League second leg. And other than that, thank you for watching guys. It is me, Jack, and I will talk to you guys in a bit. I'm out.